And we're finally back. First, I'm gonna start with a little unboxing video because I've got lots of parts, and who doesn't love opening boxes? Ooh! This is a steering wheel cover. We're gonna recover that factory steering wheel. So it's got some faux Alcantara going on. Next, brake shoes. And it's Bosch, so you know it's good. All new parking brake hardware. All right, this has got some weight to it. Wheel bearing hub assembly. This is gonna be so much fun because I'm not already a masochist. Retainer clip, got our wheel bearing, our new hub assembly, which is beautiful. Look how shiny that is. And then the bolts. Last but not least, wow, that's not as big as I expected it to be. The pictures are quite misleading. This is the transmission fluid filter, and that's what I'm gonna replace along with the gasket. I don't know if it came with the bolts though, so I gotta be nice to the bolts when I'm pulling this off there, but yeah, there she is, transmission fluid filter. It's 9 o'clock, give or take a little bit. Guess I'll do all the fluids tonight and then start on the wheel bearing tomorrow. I feel like that's a solid plan of attack because then I can really drain the transmission fluid, let it all drain out there. Gonna check the height, front to back. So approximate needs to be level. Close enough. Let's go for a little stroll, shall we? Here's the main project for today, the transmission. We're going to take the cover off after we run the car for a bit, get it all warmed up. Oh, here's the green. GM hydromatic transmission, made in France. There you have it, guys. We got General Motors parts in a BMW. So much for being a purist. The back of the transmission, there's the drain plug, and the fill plug is just above it. Okay, fill plug, drain plug, fill plug. I'm gonna put in some Seafoam. Here we go, we've got Hydra trans tune, and I feel like this is not a bad thing because it's the GM Hydromatic. I swear that's a name from the 50s, right? I'm not just making that up. Like it's 1950s General Motors terminology. It's still around. Anyways, Hydra trans tune, we're gonna throw this bottle in here, run it for half an hour before I drain it. Apparently, you're supposed to fill this while it's running, not in gear, obviously, but you're supposed to fill it while it's running because then the transmission fluid circulates up. Otherwise, it's just gonna leak out the back. Now that she's running, I'm gonna get underneath. Smells lovely. Oh, I gotta remember the exhaust is literally right next to me. Okay, look. No fluid. That's good. That's nerve-wracking, but good. Okay, so while this is doing its thing, I'm gonna pump in as much of that flush as I can. Let's read the instructions here. For use in hydraulics, do not use in brakes. When replacing, add 1 pint of tune to every 4 gallons of fluid. Yet the measurement on this is not in pints or gallons. So I'm supposed to drive 30 miles. I mean, I guess that's fair. Let's get her off the jack. Drive her for a bit. Back from the test drive. Still has a CCV issue, so I ordered a replacement diaphragm. Sorry, it's like 1 in the morning. I didn't really do that much, but it seemed to take a long time. Car's still warm, so I'm gonna do the transmission drain. Someone's got the right idea. Gonna do the transmission drain now. Well, that sounds lovely, but a little red brown hue to that. Some nice beef gravy. So I'm gonna let that drain out. And here we are. I'm gonna gently pry out the transmission filter. It should just pop right out, at least from what I understand. Well, there you have it, folks. It just pops right out. Well, that was fun. Now, I've read there's a seal right up inside. Let's take a look at that, shall we? There's a seal there. I need to get an O-ring. I need to pop that out and replace it before I put the new filter in. So this is the new ring. So I gotta pull the old one out somehow. Let's go do that. That should be fun. It's 2 a.m. I misplaced my keys and didn't have the tool I needed. I'm just calling it a night. I should know better than to keep going until 2 by now. But once you get going, you just keep going. So I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow. My brain is slowing down, so we'll pick this up in the morning. So next day, we're gonna start by pulling out the old transmission filter seal. Basically what I did, this is sitting up in here like this. Let me just sort of show you here. So you got this, wrench came up inside. So that was positioned like that to grab the lip and pull it up. I looped another wrench inside to give me more leverage right on the point that I wanted. So basically like this. And with that fixed in place and that caught on the lip, I managed to pull it out. Now I marred the surface inside a bit. If you're going to do this and you're not sure, just leave the original seal would be my advice. It's like metal on rubber and it's really not worth it, but I'm gonna clean it up now and put the new filter back in. Real quick before I install the new filter, I just wanted to show you, here's the old filter. So that's black in there. And that's what it should look like. Well, that's what it looks like new. I'll give this a quick cleanup with some brake clean, wipe it down, clean up the edges, and then magnet. There's not a whole lot of filings on the magnet. It's actually, I mean, surprisingly not that. There's no shrapnel. Fingers crossed it stays that way. So real quick and dirty, I'm just gonna spray paint the edges. That's where it's rusty. Some caliper enamel so I know it can handle the heat. Yeah, that'll do. New filter is in. I'm going to clean up these surfaces here and then we'll put it all back together and give her some filling. So I've got 7 liters of Castrol Transmax. The important thing is Dextron 6 for GM transmissions. Here's the fluid. We're gonna pump this in using a transfer pump till it starts to overflow. Then we start the car and pump it until it starts to overflow. And that's how you fill this transmission. Sounds kind of janky because it is kind of janky. Okay, now the trick with transfer pumps is to be careful because it is super easy to knock over the bottle you're pumping from. Ask me how I know. Fun development. The fluid coming out of the diff looks like it was brand new. It's coming out nice and like clean looking, pristine. It's like the diff was just done. So the rear diff is done. So here's the drain plug for the front diff. The fill plug is up on the other side. The diff fluid really doesn't look bad. We're changing it anyways because I don't know the history of this car and I'd rather change it, but it's encouraging. It means it might have been done at some point. I'm gonna pump a little bit in till that flushes a bit of fluid out and then I'll cap it and fill it up. The transfer case, I now have it jacked up. The fill plug is back here, right there. And that's where the mount goes. So you have to remove the transfer case mount in order to get to the fill plug. The drain plug is around here on the front. That I cannot get loose because transmission pan is in the way. So future self to former self, when the transmission pan is off, that's a great time to do the diff. Should be cracked. Just a little bit draining out, but not much. It's okay, still getting some out. The drain, and then we'll continue filling things. Okay, so I went for dinner, I came back. I finally put the transmission transfer case mount bolt in this way on the front side, coming through to the back. I'll put the nut on there. It does not like movement. The exhaust is right in the way. On this side, the transfer case or the transmission's right in the way. And fortunately, the mount itself, the rubber bushing has a bit of movement, a bit of play in it, so you're able to wiggle it in, but God, does it take a long time. So anywho, that's in there now, finally. I'm gonna button it all back up and then lower the car down, take it for a drive. See how it does now with all the transmission stuff changed. Wish me luck. Well, it's been a couple months since I changed my transmission fluid and filter, and I can say that the transmission is working great. One simple thing you can do is to reset your transmission adaptations. Simply turn the ignition on and hold your accelerator pedal all the way to the floor for 25 seconds, and that will reset your adaptations. If your car is over 100,000 miles or 150,000 kilometers, I'd absolutely recommend you change your transmission fluid and your filter. It's fairly inexpensive and will certainly help to prolong the life of your transmission. Well, that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.